A woman doesn't share her real thoughts, fears, and emotions with a guy just because he's there. She only does it with a man who makes her feel truly seen, understood, and safe. And here's where most men fail. They're so focused on saying the right thing that they forget to be the right man. In this video, we're breaking down 5 powerful things a woman only shares with a man she sees as truly different. If she does these with you, you're not like the rest. If she doesn't yet, don't chase. Don't change yourself to impress her, because by the end of this video, you'll know how to naturally build that deep connection. No forcing it, no games, no losing your sense of self. And here's the kicker. The last sign? It's the rarest and most powerful of them all. Once you recognize it, your entire perspective on relationships will change forever. Before we begin, hit like if you're ready to upgrade your mindset. Subscribe so you never miss content that makes you stronger, wiser, and more in control of your life. All right, let's dive in. The first thing. She shares her fears and trusts you not to fix them. Most men get this dead wrong. Why? Because they don't understand the deeper psychology at play. When a woman opens up about her fears, insecurities, or doubts, she's not looking for a solution. She's testing something far more important: how safe she feels around you. How average men fail this test. She says, "I feel like I'm falling behind in life." The average guy rushes in with instant reassurance. "No way. You're doing great." He thinks he's helping, but what he's really doing? He's shutting down the conversation before it even begins. Because now, she feels unheard, misunderstood, emotionally alone. How a high-value man responds. He pauses, holds eye contact, lets the moment breathe. Then he says, "That sounds tough. Tell me more." Boom. Now, she feels safe. Now she feels understood. And that's the key to emotional connection. Why this works: the power of holding space. Think about it. You're struggling with something in your own life, and instead of someone telling you, "It's not a big deal," they sit with you in that discomfort. They just listen. They let you feel what you need to feel. That's what she wants. Most men can't do this. They panic the second a woman expresses negative emotions. They feel like they have to fix her mood. They believe if she's upset, it's their job to solve it. Wrong. You don't need to do anything, except be present. How to apply this instantly. Pause before responding. When she shares something vulnerable, resist the urge to jump in. Take a breath. Let her words sink in. Validate, don't minimize. "You shouldn't feel that way." Shuts her down. "That sounds really tough. I get why you'd feel that way." Builds connection. Try these phrases. "That makes a lot of sense. I can see why that's on your mind. That's a lot to carry. How have you been handling it?" Ask one thoughtful question. Instead of jumping into fixer mode, say, "How long have you been feeling this way? What do you think would help? I'm here. What do you need from me right now?" Why this matters? Because women don't just share their fears with anyone. They only do this when they trust you. And trust? It's not built by giving advice. It's built by giving space. If she feels like you truly understand her, she'll open up even more. If she feels like you're dismissing or rushing past her emotions, she'll start pulling away. Emotionally, physically. Test this right now. Next time someone shares a personal struggle with you, whether it's a friend, a family member, or a woman you're dating, pause before speaking. Instead of offering solutions, say, "That sounds really difficult. I'm here for you." Then, watch what happens. Most men listen to respond. High-value men listen to understand. And that's what makes the difference. Now, while fears reveal her vulnerabilities, her childhood explains her foundations. Let's dive into why understanding where she came from is the key to knowing where she's headed. The second thing, she talks about her childhood, the unfiltered version. Most guys think when a woman talks about her childhood, it's just nostalgia, a casual story, a random memory. Wrong. When a woman truly shares her childhood, the raw, unfiltered version, it's something much deeper. She's revealing where she came from, what shaped her, what wounds she still carries. Because here's the truth. Most people walk around with unspoken emotional scars. And is she opening up about hers? It means she trusts you in a way she doesn't trust most men. Where most men fail this test. A woman says, "Growing up, I never really felt seen by my parents. I always had to be responsible. Sometimes it felt like no one really cared what I wanted." How do most men react? The wrong response. "Oh yeah, my childhood was tough too." They think they're relating to her, but in reality, they just made it about themselves. The moment she started to open the door, they slammed it shut by shifting the focus. How a high-value man responds. The right response. That must have been really hard. Do you feel like that shaped the way you see relationships today? See the difference? Instead of overshadowing her emotions, you acknowledge them. Instead of redirecting the topic, you deepen the connection. You make her feel heard, understood, safe. And that's the foundation of trust. Why this matters. A woman's childhood is the blueprint for how she experiences relationships. If she grew up feeling unheard, she may crave deep conversations but fear being ignored. If she had to take care of others, she may struggle with being vulnerable. If she feels abandoned, she may have trouble trusting people. She's not just telling you about her past. She's showing you how she experiences the present. She's giving you the keys to understanding her at a level most men never will. How to build an even stronger connection. Look for patterns in her stories. Her childhood reveals what makes her feel safe, what triggers her emotionally, how she processes love, trust, and intimacy. Ask thoughtful questions. Instead of letting the conversation fade, ask, what was the best part of your childhood? What's something from your childhood that still sticks with you today? Do you feel like your past shaped the way you approach relationships now? These questions don't just keep the conversation going. They make her feel valued, understood, and emotionally safe. Don't offer solutions. Offer presence. If she shares something painful, don't try to fix it. Say, "That must have been really difficult. How do you feel about it now?" That's a lot for a kid to handle. I can see why that would have been tough. When you validate her emotions instead of minimizing them, you create a space where she feels comfortable being vulnerable. Pay attention to the emotion behind her words. If she laughs while telling a painful story, that's a sign she's still carrying emotional weight from it. Instead of just laughing along, say, "It sounds like that was a hard time for you. Did you feel like you had to be strong all the time?" This shows you're present. You see her deeper layers. And that's rare. Final thought. Women don't share their childhood stories for fun. They do it with people they trust. If she's opening up to you about her past, she sees you as someone worth letting in. And how do you respond determines whether she keeps sharing or starts pulling away. Because while her childhood reveals where she's been, her dreams reveal where she's headed. And how do you respond to them will determine if you belong in that future. The third thing, she shares her dreams and watches how you react. Most guys think when a woman talks about her dreams, it's just conversation. Wrong. It's a test, a subconscious one. She's watching your reaction, not just to see if you'll support her, but to measure. Are you secure enough in yourself to handle her ambition? Do you lift her up, or subtly hold her back? Can you be part of her future, or will you limit it? And here's where most men fail. The 3 ways men fail this test. The realist who kills her vision. She says, "I want to start my own business." Weak response. "That sounds hard. Are you sure?" Instant doubt. This makes her question herself, like she needs permission to dream. The passive guy who offers nothing. She shares her goal. Weak response. "Oh, cool. No energy, no curiosity. Forgettable." The insecure man who feels threatened. She says, I want to travel the world and work remotely. Weak response. Yeah, I've already been to 10 countries. Instead of engaging with her vision, he makes it about himself, and that kills attraction instantly. How a high-value man passes the test. He validates her ambition without hesitation. She says, I want to start my own business. Strong response. That's amazing. What's your first step? He asks questions that push her forward. What made you passionate about this? What excites you most about that vision? How can I support you in making that happen? These questions show you listen, you respect her drive, you challenge her to think bigger, and that makes her associate you with growth, strength, and inspiration. Why this matters. A woman's dreams are deeply personal. They reveal who she wants to become. When she shares them with you, she's not just letting you into her plans. She's seeing if you fit into them. Your reaction in that moment, it shapes how she sees you. Do you inspire her or make her question herself? Do you expand her mindset or shrink it? Do you fuel her ambition or plant seeds of doubt? A high-value man doesn't just admire a woman's dreams. He respects them because he has his own ambitions. How to build a deeper connection through this. Recognize the emotional weight behind her dreams. Most women grow up being told, play it safe. Be realistic. That's too ambitious. If she's sharing her vision with you, it means she hasn't had many people truly believe in her. Your words? They can either reinforce her doubts or give her the confidence to keep going. Never one-up her. She says, I want to visit every continent. Weak response. Yeah, I've already been to 10 countries. Now she feels like you're competing with her, not supporting her. Strong response. That's incredible. What's the first country you'd visit? Now, she's excited to talk about her dream, with you, how to apply this instantly. Notice your instinctive reaction. When she shares a goal, do you instantly try to ground her in reality, change the subject, feel insecure about her ambition, or do you lean in, ask more, and encourage her? If you don't understand her dream, show curiosity, not judgment. She says, I want to be an artist, a CEO, a nonprofit founder. You don't have to fully relate to her goal to support it. Strong response. That's really interesting. What made you want to pursue that? This opens up the conversation instead of shutting it down. Encourage, but be real. Women know the difference between real support and empty flattery. Weak response. That's amazing. You'll be great. Strong response. That's a big dream. What inspired it? Real curiosity equals real connection. A woman doesn't just want a man who tolerates her dreams. She wants a man who respects them. If she's sharing her vision for the future with you, she's considering whether you belong in that future. The best way to pass that test? Support her, without hesitation. Ask meaningful questions. Never make her feel small for wanting something big. Because while dreams shape the future, past relationships shape expectations. And when she talks about her ex, it's not just a story. It's a lesson, a warning, a test. Much of these signs, have you experienced them before? Drop a comment. I read every response. Because understanding her past helps you understand her present. And if you don't learn from her past, you won't be part of her future. The fourth thing, she talks about her past relationships, but not for the reason you think. Most men hear a woman mention her ex and immediately assume the worst. She's not over him. She still has feelings for him. Why is she even bringing this up? And because of that, they fail the test. Because when a woman talks about her past relationships, she's not talking about her ex. She's talking about herself. What hurt her, what she learned, what she refuses to tolerate again. And how do you react? Tell her everything she needs to know about you, where most men fail. A woman says, my last relationship ended because I felt unappreciated. How do most men respond? The weak response, That guy was stupid. I'd never do that to you. Sounds supportive, right? Wrong. This instantly shuts down the conversation. This makes it about your ego, not her experience. She doesn't need you to compete with her ex. She needs to see if you actually understand her. How a high-value man passes this test. The strong response: I get that. What makes you feel appreciated? Instead of shutting the door, you open it wider. Instead of making it about the past, you make it about her. Now she feels safe to share more. Now she sees that you listen. Now she feels emotionally connected. And that is where trust is built. Why this matters. A woman's past relationships are her greatest teachers. They shaped what she believes about love, what she needs to feel secure, what she will and won't accept. So if she's opening up to you about her past, she's not looking for your opinion on her ex. She's testing whether you're emotionally intelligent enough to understand her. And your response will tell her one of two things. This man truly listens and understands me. He's just another guy who doesn't get it. And if it's the second one, she stops sharing. She pulls back emotionally. She starts questioning if you're any different. How to handle this conversation like a high-value man. Most men think this moment is about competition. They try to prove, I'm better than your ex. But a high-value man knows this conversation is actually about clarity. Who she is, what she values, where you fit into her emotional world. Instead of just hearing her words, read between the lines. My ex never made me feel heard. She's telling you she values emotional connection. He never supported my goals. She's revealing she needs a man who respects her ambition. I felt like I was always the one giving. She's saying she needs reciprocity, not one-sided effort. If you ignore these cues, you'll make the same mistakes her ex did. How to strengthen your connection through this conversation. Stay curious, not defensive. Most men instantly feel insecure when a woman brings up her past. They change the subject. They try to reassure her with empty promises. They get uncomfortable. The high-value response: that sounds tough. How did you handle that? What did you learn from that experience? How do you think that shaped what you're looking for now? This proves you're emotionally secure enough to have real conversations. Avoid trash-talking her ex. Weak response: wow, what a jerk, I'd never do that. Strong response: that must have been hard. I get why that would leave a lasting impact. She doesn't need you to bash her ex. She needs you to understand her. Big difference. Recognize that she's not asking for reassurance. She's looking for alignment. She's not looking for you to say, I'm different from him. She's looking to see if your actions and values naturally align with what she actually needs. And that isn't something you can fake. How to apply this instantly. Pause before responding. Don't instinctively try to fix the conversation. Don't instantly jump in to prove yourself. Listen for patterns. What emotions, themes, and frustrations keep coming up? That's what she's actually telling you. Ask a question that moves the conversation deeper. Instead of giving your opinion on her ex, ask a question about her personal growth. What's something that experience taught you about yourself? What's the most important thing you want in a relationship now? Now? She's thinking about her future, and she's seeing if you belong in it. Final thought. Women don't talk about their past relationships lightly. If she's sharing these experiences with you, it's not because she's stuck in the past. It's because she's giving you the chance to understand her present and future. And how do you respond determines whether she sees you as just another man or someone truly different. Her past relationships taught her what she can't tolerate. But when she shows you her vulnerability, she's testing whether you're truly different. The fifth thing, she lets you see her vulnerability, the ultimate test. This is the rarest and most powerful sign of all, because when a woman allows you to see her at her most unguarded, it's not just about emotions, it's about trust. And trust? That's something most men will never earn. The truth about female vulnerability. In a world that constantly tells women to be strong, independent, emotionally resilient, showing vulnerability is a risk, and she will only take that risk with a man she feels completely safe with. Where most men fail, they see a woman struggling, stressed, overwhelmed, or emotional, and their first instinct? Fix it. Solve the problem. Make the pain go away. They think they're helping, but what they're actually doing, invalidating her emotions, rushing her process, making her feel like she has to suppress what she's feeling for their comfort. The high-value man's response. Let's break it down. She's overwhelmed, stressed, or on the verge of tears. The weak response. Don't cry, it's not a big deal. Instant failure. This tells her her emotions are inconvenient. This makes her feel like she's too much. The strong response. I'm here. Take your time. No pressure, no rush, just presence. That is what emotional safety looks like. Why this matters. For many women, being vulnerable is rare. They've spent their whole lives being the strong one. They've been conditioned to carry everyone else's emotions while hiding their own. They've learned that showing weakness means risking judgment or rejection. So if she breaks down in front of you, shares her raw emotions, admits she's struggling, she's not looking for solutions. She's looking for a safe place where she can simply be. And that is not weakness, that is trust, that is a test, the Stoic man's response to vulnerability. A high-value man doesn't rush to fix her emotions, tell her how to feel, get uncomfortable and change the subject. Instead, he does this. He stays grounded. Most men shut down or panic when a woman expresses deep emotions. Don't be that guy. Stay steady, present, and unshaken. That sounds really overwhelming. I'm here. No pressure, no rushing, just presence. He resists the urge to give advice. Men process emotions through action. Women process emotions through expression. She doesn't need logic. She needs presence. Instead of, you should do this. Try. That's a lot to deal with. What do you need right now? That tiny shift makes all the difference. He recognizes that vulnerability builds deeper attraction. Most men think, women only fall for confident, put-together men. Wrong. A woman will never show her raw emotions to a man she doesn't trust. If she hides her emotions from you, it means she doesn't feel safe enough to let her guard down. But if she lets you in, she sees you as someone different. She trusts you in a way she doesn't trust most men. She's letting you into the version of herself that the rest of the world never gets to see. How to apply this instantly. Next time she's emotional, observe yourself. Do you feel uncomfortable? Try to fix the problem immediately? Shut down or change the subject? If so, pause. Instead of reacting, just listen. Practice giving space instead of solutions. Instead of, you should do this. Try. That sounds really difficult, I hear you. That's a lot to carry. I get why you feel that way. This makes her feel understood, not just advised. Pay attention to how she responds to your presence. If a woman feels emotionally safe around you, she'll start opening up more. If she stops sharing her emotions, it's a sign she feels unheard, dismissed, or judged. And once that trust is broken, it's almost impossible to rebuild. Final thought. Women don't show vulnerability to men they don't trust. If she does this with you, you've earned a level of closeness most men never will. But how you respond determines whether she continues to trust you on this level, or whether she learns to hide this side of herself from you forever. Because when a woman feels emotionally safe with a man, she doesn't just stay, she connects on a level that's impossible to fake. Final thoughts. Why this all matters. Women don't share these things with just anyone. If she lets you into her emotional world, it means you stand out. Not because you asked for her trust, but because you became the kind of man she could trust naturally. This isn't about tactics. This isn't about playing mind games. It's about who you are at your core. A woman feels safe opening up to a man who is steady, emotionally intelligent, secure in himself. When you embody these traits, trust follows effortlessly. But here's the reality. Trust isn't built in a single moment. It's built in how you show up. Over time, it's built in the way you listen, how you handle conflict, and whether you create a space where she can be fully herself without fear of judgment. If she hasn't opened up to you like this yet, don't force it. Trust isn't something you can demand. It's something you earn through consistency, presence, and emotional depth. A question for you. Think back to a moment when a woman shared something deeply personal with you. Did you listen, or did you rush to fix it? Did you hold space, or did you get uncomfortable? Did you make her feel safe, or did you unknowingly shut her down? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every response. And if this resonated with you, hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Because trust isn't earned with words. It's earned in the way you show up. When did you become that man? The right woman will recognize it. And that is when everything changes. Stay stoic. Stay strong.